Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions Retold. Episode 13, A Very Chunibyo Christmas, Act 2. Yuuta brought a drunk Rikka back to the dining room. Kumin, Nibutani, and Ishiki were surprised when they saw Rikka drunk. It wasn't long before they figured out that the chocolate cake was the cause, and Rikka ate 3 whole slices. Who knew there'd be so much alcohol in one slice? Said Ishiki. Hopefully it wears off soon, added Kumin, worried. Yuuta was trying to make Rikka sit down as she was stumbling as she walked. Yuuta, I see a sorcerer over there, said Rikka. Yuuta put her on a red couch for her to rest. Unfortunately, Rikka wasn't the only one drunk. Hey, you! Give me back my master! Yeah, what she said. Dekomori and Junki were also drunk from the chocolate cake, much to Yuta's dismay and disbelief. They tried to attack him, but their actions had no enthusiasm since they were weak. Dekomori's weighted bags and Junki's toy lightsaber were no good against Yuuta. How dare you toy with Master's heart? You dare disrespect the Mjolnir hammer? They said. Cut it out! I didn't toy with her, replied Yuuta. Then, the 2 drunk victims got more aggressive and knocked Yuuta down. The Master talks about nothing but you and your foolishness, said Deko. She goes on and on about how you smile, how you get mad, or how you look away. You did what now? Added Junki. Hold on! What are you suddenly bringing that up for? Asked Yuuta. Step aside, Dekomori and Junki, said Rikka, standing up on the couch. Yuuta, your powers of judgment as Dark Flame Master are far too weak. What? He asked. If it all comes down to the guidance of the Wicked Lord Shingen's predetermined justice, the fork on the conclusive battle for Earth will be seen again on this land. Do you have any idea what you're saying? Yuuta, you annoy me. And then there was trouble. Reality rejected. Synapses shattered. Banishment from this world. I used my magic to change the scenery from Deko's mansion to a land of gourmet foods and sweets. Yuuta remembered he had powers when it came to battle sequences. It'll be a challenge, because 3-on-1 isn't playing fair. Dekomori used Mjolnir Lightning. Yuuta avoided the attack. Rikka used Avalon Smash. Yuuta got hit, but he remained strong. Yuuta used Flamethrower on the 3 enemies. Junki used the Force to repel the flames from himself. The flames were super effective on Dekomori. Junki used Calm Mind. His special attack and special defense rose. Rikka used Dark Matter Blaze. Yuuta prepared to defend himself just in time. Dekomori used Earthquake. Yuuta fell to the ground. Junki used Lightsaber Toss on Yuuta. The latter concentrated and caught it on the hilt end. Yuuta was feeling confident when Junki used the Force to hold him in place. I have you now, he said. Rikka and Dekomori combined their powers and charged up a huge, gigantic ball of fantasy energy. Yuuta braced himself and closed his eyes as the 2 girls threw it on him. When Yuuta opened his eyes, the fantasy elements wore off. Rikka, Dekomori, and Junki were all on the floor out cold because of their drunk status. Yuuta was relieved that the battle was over. That could have been worse, said Ishiki. It also could have been better, added Kumin. What are you idiots doing? Asked Nibutani, face-palming herself. Nibutani tucked a still-drunk Rikka with a blanket on a couch in a small room. Nibutani wasn't wearing her fantasy outfit anymore. She was wearing normal clothes again. Sorry about that. I couldn't find the right time, said Nibutani. Huh? Went Rikka. Remember how I said I'd find a way to get you some alone time with Togashi during the party? It's not necessary. Are you sure? The eye of the Wicked Lord sees all. It's not a problem. Well, it's hard for a girl to be the one to initiate things, isn't it? I also think you have experience in these matters? Rikka got up quickly, reacting to Nibutani's advice. That was fast, but that's not the point. I'm just saying that it's hard for a girl to find the right words. That's why I thought Christmas would be the right time. Yes, I see. I mean, think about what kind of things are associated with Christmas. Rikka thought for a moment. The bloody tragedy? She answered. Where did that come from? I'm talking about romance couples, said Nibutani. I'm saying that boyfriends and girlfriends use Christmas as an excuse to hold hands and get lovey-dovey. Think about it. I'm sure Tagashi is imagining something like that as well. Don't you think so? He isn't, replied Rikka. Are you sure? I swear by the eye of the wicked lord, said Rikka sadly. Then there was a knock at the door. Are you done changing? Asked Yuuta. Yeah, come on in, replied Nibutani. And he did. How is she? Asked Yuuta. She's calmed down a little bit and is resting now. That's good. I guess I'll take her home. After all, she does live above me. Nibutani smiled. That's right. Yuuta, carrying Rikka, said bye to Nibutani, Ishiki, Kumin, and Junki before he left. Nibutani and Rikka winked at each other as Yuuta was leaving. Thankfully, Junki recovered from his drunk state, but Dekomori was still drunk from the chocolate cake. Where did Master go? She asked. She and Tagashi went home already, replied Kumin. How dare he captures my master like that? Now it's up to me, Dekomori, to— Yeah, time to give it a rest, said Nibutani, holding her shoulders. Dekomori then realized something about her. You've been very cold-blooded towards me lately. I've tried very desperately to launch an attack. Now you're mad at me? Asked Nibutani, confused. You used to take this more seriously. You chased after me like you meant it, said Deko, starting to cry. But now— It's not just my master, it's you too. Jeez, give me a break, said Nibutani. It's okay, Dekomori. Don't cry. Yeah, it'll be okay, said Junki and Kumin. Dekomori calmed down. Okay. It's time to go where Master is, yes! She exclaimed. Man, why do we have to go? Asked Nibutani. Maybe it's our thank you present to Dekomori for using her mansion for our Christmas party, said Ishiki. Welp, how can I argue with that? Asked Nibutani. Yuuta and Rikka were taking a train somewhere. It wasn't to their homes, but somewhere else. Rikka also recovered from her drunk state. Yuuta looked at his phone to check the time. We might still be able to make it, he said. Hey, Rikka? What is it? Yuuta pulled out 2 tickets for a riverboat ride named Night Cruising, Xmas, Mississippi. It's Christmas, so I bought these, said Yuuta. But then Dekomori's party came up, so I didn't think we'd get a chance to use them. Do you want to go? Rikka smiled. Let's go. Yuuta and Rikka were on the riverboat sailing through the waters. Rikka was very excited indeed. Yuuta, this is great! She exclaimed. Yuuta agreed. They saw the lights at the end of the horizon generated by the buildings, cars, and Christmas lights. They were just like the invisible boundary lines, but with a holiday overlay. So pretty, said Rikka. Is this your first time on a boat like this? Asked Yuuta. Yeah. What about you, Yuuta? I haven't been on one since I was a kid. The 2 lovers could see their apartment complex from here on the riverboat. They then looked at the sky. Hoshi was still there as always. Yuuta, said Rikka. That green star promised that I'd reach the invisible boundary lines. And it came true, said Yuuta. Thank you, green star, said Rikka. His name is Hoshi, added Yuuta. The 2 lovers continued to observe the sights. You know, Rikka, I've been giving it a lot of thought, said Yuuta. About us. How do I put it? I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't think we should force things. I mean, With Chunibyo and everything, I think it would be best to let things happen at their own pace. That's why what I'm trying to say is... Yuuta and Rikka were looking at each other. Then they looked away. Then they looked at each other again. The two lovers inched closer and closer to each other. The riverboat blared its horn, startling Yuuta and Rikka by accident. "Sure is cold. Let's go inside," said Yuuta. "Yeah," replied Rikka. The two lovers held pinkies and smiled. Yuuta and Rikka were on their way inside the riverboat when Dekomori showed up. "Hold it right there!" "Dekomori?" asked Rikka. "I've been watching patiently. What was that supposed to be?" asked Deko. "Don't tell me you're still drunk," said Yuuta. She was. "I knew it. I can't leave my master in your hands after all!" Nibutani showed up and grabbed Deko. "Geez, I told you to leave them alone," she said to her. "Sorry," said Ishiki to Yuuta. Dekomori, Nibutani, Ishiki, Kumin, and Junki were all here on the riverboat with Yuuta and Rikka. "Why are you all here?" asked Yuuta. Nibutani and Ishiki chuckled nervously. "Deko was awfully insistent," replied Kumin. "Yep," agreed Junki. "We try to make her promise to watch and leave you two alone. Please don't be mad," said Ishiki. Dekomori saw Yuuta and Rikka holding pinkies. She was upset. "Return my master."
Right now!
Her soul turned black. Everyone else was worried. Deko tried to use her hate powers to grab Rikka, but her drunk state messed up her accuracy and knocked Rikka off the boat. "Ah!" screamed Rikka. "No!" wailed Yuuta. He began to cry, and everyone else felt terrible for Rikka's death. But there was no splash. Everyone looked over and saw Rikka hovering upside down, shivering. Junki was using the force to save her. He guided Rikka to Yuta's arms, and they hugged. "Are you okay?" "Mm-hmm," whimpered Rikka. "Thanks, Junki," said Yuuta. "The Dark Flame Master is nothing without the Eye of the Wicked Lord," replied Junki. "Well done, Junki," said Kumin, and she kissed him on the cheek. Junki blushed with joy pretty hard. As for Dekomori, she was about to try and grab Rikka again, when she slipped and took Nibutani down with her. Dekomori and Nibutani kissed each other by complete accident. It did cleanse the hate and drunk status, though, somehow. Dekomori and Nibutani were very upset and embarrassed with each other. "What are you doing? That's what I'd like to know!" And the two girls argued for the rest of the boat ride. After the boat ride was over, everyone got off. Dekomori and Nibutani were looking away from each other. They then eyeballed each other for a moment. Deko gasped. "You just looked at me with lecherous eyes, didn't you? Keep your fantasies to yourself!" While the two girls were arguing, Yuuta and Ishiki were watching. "Well, there's that," said Yuuta. "They reached a new level," replied Ishiki. "No, we didn't!" replied Nibutani and Dekomori. "I think that Christmas went pretty well," said Kumin. And then everyone said Merry Christmas to each other and went home. It was 11:32 p.m. when Yuuta returned home. His whole family was asleep. Yuuta found a slice of strawberry shortcake on the counter with a note that read, "To Yuuta, from Kuzuha and Yumeha." Yuuta smiled. He put the cake in the fridge for him to eat on Christmas Day. Yuuta went to bed and closed his eyes. "Wake up, Dark Flame Master! Santa's been here! Santa's been here!" exclaimed Yumeha. Before they all knew it, Christmas Day finally came. There were 5 Christmas presents under the Christmas tree in the living room. Kuzuha got a new notebook in aqua green. "This'll come in handy." "What did you get, Yumeha?" She got a small toy sword to play around with. "It's really cool!" she exclaimed. Chimera got a scratching post. Mother Togashi got a new mug, and Father Togashi got a handmade card from his family. There were no presents for Yuuta, sadly. Hold on. There's a note under the tree, said Mother Togashi. It was for Yuuta. He picked it up and it read, "Look outside." Yuuta looked outside his balcony to see snow falling from the sky. The snow sure is nice, isn't it? Asked Father Togashi. Sure is, replied Yuuta. Then, the Togashi family noticed a rope drop down, followed by a girl who was climbing down. She was wearing a Santa outfit in black. Yuuta got the best Christmas present of all. Rikka Takanashi. Merry Christmas, Yuuta! Merry Christmas, Rikka. And with that, Christmas passed. Nothing changed between Yuuta and Rikka. Kumin and Ishiki went their separate ways. Junki said goodbye and went back to North America. And the kiss left a stain on Dekomori and Nibutani's past. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.